Hello everyone, welcome back to the Kirby Planet Robobot commentary. In this part, we almost finish up the main levels of the game, which is pretty cool. I would say so myself. Oh, geometry! We lamented that we did not talk about the geometry boss when we beat
the Kirby 64 thing.
Yeah, from Kirby 64, but now I guess we can talk about it here.
I mean, if anything, Robobot lacks original bosses, so at least having a throwback to 64, it makes sense, and it's kind of cool. It's cool.
So that's one of the big things about Robobot I don't like is that, as well as that, most of the bosses are reskins of old bosses. And part of that is, like, this boss, like, the geometry boss kind of falls into that because it's just a bunch of repeat bosses from old games. Yeah, it's like the Rattly
I think
Coiler.
someone just like they were sleeping or they're in the middle of a shower. They're like, Meta Knight, what can we Mecha Knight? Oh, and then they just called their boss and made an entire game based around robots because they thought of a cool pun.
Yeah, but I mean, like, honestly, the Mecha Knight and the DDD fights don't really bother me because they don't play like any other Meta Knight or DDD fight. So
They're cool, but how many times have we fought them before?
I guess that's somewhat true. It's like the repeating all of those bosses from with the geometry, and then having Susie's fight be so similar to Haltman's fight, you know, and then fighting Galactica Knight again, fighting Sectonia again. The Dark Matter clone in the Meta Nightmare race, though,
is really cool.
That's really cool because, like, we hadn't fought Dark Matter in, like, what, 20 years when this came out? And on top of that, there was also, he had new moves, too, was the other thing, which I don't think...
It was really... And a remix, which I love. I love my Kirby remixes.
Yeah, so... I really liked that. I really liked them bringing back Dark Matter, but for the most part, the bosses in this game are...
No Kirby boss gets lamer than Twin Woods. This is the worst boss in the Kirby franchise. What if Whispy Woods, two of them?
Hey, you know, you could...
The trees are everywhere, though. I'm surprised that happened earlier.
You could beat up one tree, but can you beat up two trees?
Oh.
We tread on both of their roots.
You can, actually. Pretty easily.
Yeah. I will say that one of my favorite Whispy Woods fights is Dreamland... Is it Dreamland 3 where he gets the Psycho Eyes?
Yeah, you beat him once normally, and then he gets mad and chases
he gets
you.
corrupted, yeah.
Yeah. The Dreamland 2 is the one where he has, like, the face mask, though, right? Because that one's also pretty fun.
Yeah, where you sleeping? Yeah.
Yeah, I like... Yeah, Whispy Woods, I don't know. Like, I just love that stupid tree so much.
It's pretty good.
I always prefer the games where they do some sort of twist on him, though. Like, this game with Mecha Woods, I think, is really cool. I like the Kirby 64 fight.
There was the Stone Golem one in Amazing Mirror.
Yeah, and the Flowery Woods fight in Triple Deluxe is really cool because it is a Whispy Woods-like, but it doesn't, you know, really play like any of the other Whispy Woods fights. It's stuff like Star Allies or Return to Dreamland sort of as well, where it's just kind of the same fights from Superstar.
But he can just self-make himself super thick.
Thick wood.
Thick woods.
I think Clanky Woods is probably one of the best Whispy Woods fights, though. Like this version.
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna throw a tree in there as the first boss, you may as well spice it up after how many years?
So I'm seeing chunks of like graphics in the level geometry here. Is this based on a specific older game?
Not really.
Look, it's Green Hill.
Oh no.
I mean, I guess there's some sort of visual callbacks to like the inside of the pyramid from 64, sort of, but that's a stretch, I would say. Like, this is a mostly unique visual design.
I'm talking about like the green earthy stuff in the ground.
Right.
That looks like it belongs to a forest level.
I don't think they ever explained the whole being inside of
you
a
on
computer
part 12,
program bit.
Lewis?
No, there were some green grassy bits coming out of the program platforms. You'll probably see it in the next section.
Because I don't remember.
There were some Green Hill Zone looking platforms.
As soon as it lows.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I think it's
emerging from the cubes. Yeah.
So, okay, you know what? I've never noticed that before.
Wow, what a fake
guessing
Kirby
if I was watching
fan.
the wrong part.
I think it's just supposed to represent the fact that the world technically is being corrupted and robobot-decized.
The world is square.
By the bad guys, because you kind of forget that by the time you're this far into the game.
Yeah.
it's pretty obvious when you're at the beginning, but
Hell
later
yeah,
in the
Jet
game.
Robobot.
The Jet Robobot's fun. I always love the stupid space shooter
Stupid.
segments.
Stupid.
I like just like space shooters in general.
It's just such a random series tradition to have a space shooter in Kirby. It's just like it's just always been there, so we always expected.
Yeah, because Dreamland had it, like
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
original.
the very first game had it. Although that was space shooter in quotes because it was just a flight section with Kirby.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it in every game? Does Dreamland 2 have one?
No,
No.
Dreamland 2 does not have it.
Okay.
But Superstar is the first time you had a ship.
Yeah, and then there's also like Adventure has
Dreamland,
one.
Dreamland 3 doesn't have it.
Well, Dreamland 3 has something somewhat similar with the where you're flying with the rod. You know, that's why I I consider that like a shooting section, like 64.
Yeah, you know
Okay,
what?
I mean, I guess
if
that's
you could say,
fair.
you know, Dreamland 2's fight against Dark Matter. I guess.
So then
would
that
count, because
constitutes
that
that,
is a fight
like,
section.
64
Yeah.
has a similar part then as well.
Yeah.
Right.
At the very end. So Squeak Squad doesn't. Amazing Mirror does.
Squeak
Squeak Squad does not.
Amazing
not-
Mirror does though.
See, that game
Like,
is
Amazing
unfinished.
Mirror does
They
have
didn't
it,
put in
yeah.
the shooting section. Wow.
And then
Wait, hold on. Because now I'm struggling to even remember what the hell Squeak Squad's last boss. Oh wait, it was the Nightmare.
Yeah, it was the
That was-
it
yeah,
was
like
the
he came
just
back.
random star
the
with an eyeball.
Dark Star, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the lamest final boss in the series, so I don't blame you for not remembering it.
It is pretty lame. Epic Yarn has it. I don't think
But the Epic Girl one was pretty.
when you go into the spin-offs, I know Rainbow Curse has one.
I'm not as familiar with the spin-offs. Like I don't know how
Well,
to play.
the ones that have like a proper plot, Rainbow Curse has one. Camera's Curse doesn't.
To this day, I still don't know how you're supposed to play the Kirby golf game. Like I don't know how.
Oh, a
it's
Dream
supposed-
Course?
I don't know how it works. I can't figure it out.
You grab your 3 wood,
Yeah.
you check the wind trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, like I like golf games a lot, but
You then press 787 to swing.
I don't know how to. Oh, you're making a Simpsons reference. Oh, okay. Listen, not everybody's watched The Simpsons.
Everyone knows of Lee Carvello, though.
No.
Listen, I
no.
only know of Lee Carvello because you referenced it to me.
I don't know.
But you know it now. That's not.
No, you see, but I don't. It's not that I enjoy it. It's the same reason why I don't like Monty Python
Whether
and
you
the whole
enjoy
Holy
it-
Grail.
Whether you enjoy it is irrelevant. We're only asking if you.
I
know.
don't.
Listen, Monty Python and the Holy Grail is not a good movie to me anymore because I've heard every single joke in it 17,000 times before I even watched the movie.
That's not Monty Python's
That's
fault,
your own
though.
fault. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not Monty Python.
Well, it is because it made itself a meme, so it is Monty Python's fault.
No, that was everyone else doing that.
Yeah.
Look, all right.
I mean, also Naked Gun is better, so that's fun.
Oh, I love Naked.
Thank you.
I haven't watched them in a while, but
Thank you. What are you doing?
Who's
I'm
getting
ignoring
into
the smash power up on purpose is what I'm doing. But I also got the nightmare orb.
you say ignoring the Smash power, but you form a balloon in the Smash symbol.
No, that wasn't the
Like,
smash
oh.
double. That was the nightmare.
That was
orb
Nightmare.
from
Oh, was that okay.
Adventure. Yeah. AKA one of the not good new assist trophies.
Yeah, that one's
just
kind
mixed
of
it. I
lame.
forgot about that.
There's a lot of assist trophies that basically just all amount to you can't see what the fuck's going on, which is not.
I'd rather go complete darkness though than Skull Kid fucking with the controls
I mean,
because I hate
I don't
that
know.
shit.
I feel like making the screen upside down is more fun than just making it dark. Personally,
Because what happens? Yeah, what happens when it goes dark? Everyone just stands and waits for it to end.
I'd rather have.
Yeah, but see, that's why I don't mind it as much. 'Cause there's a way to counter
I'd rather
it.
just have the assist trophies that go and kick your enemy's ass. To be honest.
I mean, yeah, those are more fun. Like, at the very least, like you can have one of them. Like you can keep Nintendogs. Like I'm fine with that.
Nintendo was cute.
Yeah.
Is Rossetti's not even in Smash Ultimate, is he? Because that was a
No,
good
Nope.
he wasn't in
No.
Smash 4 either.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's only been in Brawl.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, like,
Everyone found it. I know that was the point, but everyone found him way too annoying because he didn't go away fast enough.
That's his point.
Yeah, it's like I get that's the point, but it's also just not fun in the context of Smash.
What did
Hey,
Rossetti
have
do?
you actually read what he's saying though? The shit's hilarious.
What did Rossetti do?
He basically just showed up and he kept on like talking at you
Talking.
and yelling. Because in Animal Crossing, if you reset the game without saving, Mr. Rossetti, the mole, will pop out of the ground and yell at you for not saving your game and trying to abuse the save system in order to get what you want to happen.
Yeah. He should really be an ultimate. He's out of a job right now, so he needs
It's very true.
Well, isn't he
Oh
running
my god,
the?
what if he's the character?
Isn't he running the rescue system in Animal
I
Crossing?
mean, rumored. We've never actually seen him in New Horizons.
What they should do is have Rossetti do the creepy anti-piracy message.
Oh my god.
They actually should do that. It's just like yelling at you for using a non-legitimate version of the game. Like, that would actually be a really funny anti-piracy thing to put into an Animal Crossing game. Although we're getting to the point now where like legitimate SNES games and stuff like that are now like reading as being pirated because like the save batteries are
Don't
dead.
remind me.
Isn't that right?
That's what killed my Super Nintendo. My Super Metroid on Super Nintendo.
Wait, are your battery died?
When your battery dies in Super Metroid, the game gives you the anti-piracy check in the beginning.
Oh, whoa.
And after the game loads, Samus immediately dies.
Oh my
The game is
god.
the game is impossible to play.
I didn't even know there was an anti-piracy thing in
It freaked me the hell out.
Have
That's
you
legit.
found
That's
a way to
creepypasta
fix
in real
it,
life.
or have you just gotten a new?
I see. Here's the thing. I don't know if it's an anti-piracy measure or because what apparently died. Some battery in the game died.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that is what the game checks to see if everything is okay, and if it's not, then I'm not sure whether it's because it's an anti-piracy measure or Samus's health is tied to this battery for some reason. But Samus will immediately die as soon as the game
So
ends.
strange.
Very
Did
strange.
you get a new SNES version or? Okay.
Yes, I did. I still have the dead copy.
Because that's like your childhood copy, right?
Yeah, I've had.
Why did you
I've
not
had
just
one
like
time, yes.
replace the battery instead of?
Because I'm lazy, I have no idea how any of that's done.
Fair point.
Some people also charge a lot for that too. Like if you ever look into services for people who like restore Game Boy Color Pokemon batteries and stuff like that, it can cost a lot of money.
But the
Really?
most I ever went
Yeah.
out of my way to the most I ever went out of my way to replace a battery was for my Saturn because I needed to in order to play imports.
Damn.
Yeah, although Pokemon as well just kind of has artificially inflated prices because it's Pokemon. Like you can't get any Pokemon game for less than like $50. Doesn't matter what the condition is or which Pokemon main series, I should say. You could probably get some of the spin-offs for cheap, but out of all the Pokemon main games, if you want like any of the Game Boy Advance ones or any of the DS ones, it's all really expensive because it's Pokemon, pretty much. So anyway, we could beat the game, but nah.
Nah.
We have
Kirby games
another
never end.
Fancy Pants EX stage to play.
Yeah, and so this is the EX stage for this world, so finding all the code cubes in this specific world. And then after this, there's the EX stage for finding all the code cubes in the game. Pretty much.
Wonderful.
Aren't one of these just like a big boss gauntlet? Isn't that in here, or am I just like misremembering?
I think that was Triple Deluxe, where you refought
Okay.
all of the Hybernova bosses.
Okay, yeah, I'm probably just misremembering.
There is one where you do all of the Robobot gimmicks again, though.
This level looks like a Sonic CD Bad Future stage.
Yeah, pretty much. Now that I'm looking at it, you know, where you're drinking the slurm from Devil May Cry DMC.
The good future, it's beer.
It needs Haltman going ooh hoo, 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 and stuff.
This song, I think, is also a. This song is also a remix from something, but I don't recognize it. I think it might be a Dark Matter.
Oh,
Zero
I want to say it's Hyperzone from Dreamland 3.
3. Yeah, it might be that. Unfortunately, Dreamland 3 is one of the games I played the least, so I don't really remember its music very well.
I want to say I think I know that because I agree, and I think that's just how I knew. Like, oh damn, they remixed some Dreamland 3 stuff. I think that's this.
The only Dreamland 3 music I really know is the one that they remixed in Kirby 64, and my brain mentally makes that a Kirby 64 song. The Down the Mountain Stream one, where
Oh yeah.
which is just the first level theme from Dreamland 3.
Yeah, I can't place it. I know that, and
Yeah,
they've been very.
it's not Hyperzone. I just listened to it myself.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think it's from a Kirby game.
I mean, they were very remix happy with this one. I mean, we glazed past it. I mentioned it last time though. They did remix Dark Castle from Dreamland 2. We did that in one of the earlier levels. That was really good.
This is the Nightmare theme from Kirby Adventure / Nightmare in Dreamland. And I assume it's the Canvas Curse version because the instruments sound similar, and I'm
Yeah, this doesn't sound nearly as threatening.
like, I don't like the instruments that they use for this. And I mean, the Nightmare theme's really good, but it's also really short, so it risks getting old if you listen to it for too long.
It got remixed in again in Star Allies too, didn't it?
Did it? I wouldn't be surprised if it did, because they did all those remixes for all of the Dream Friends.
The guest stars, yeah.
Honestly, some of them
good
were
find.
really good and some of them were disappointing. Like the Adeline and Ribbon one. They made it a medley instead of just choosing either Miracle Matter or 02 to remix, and it just kind of ruined the experience for me, because I kind of just wanted one good remix and not half of a remix of two different songs.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're talking about favorite DDD theme a couple parts ago, but if we're getting a little more generalized, can you guys pick a top 5?
Like Kirby
DDD
songs?
theme?
Like Kirby
Oh
songs.
no, I couldn't. There's too many.
I forget the sunset level from Return to Dreamland.
Oh, the
Sky,
remix of
Sky Tower.
Oh, Sky Tower is great. Yeah.
Sky
I
Tower
love
is really good.
no, I love Return to Dreamland's I think it's Grape Garden remix.
Grape Garden's usually a good one.
This is a really underrated one for me. I really like the Quiet Forest theme from Kirby 64.
Ooh, so good, so atmospheric. I forget the name of the hopscotch level that you do, the hopping level from that one. Actually, I like all the minigame music in 64, but I don't know.
I think the hopping minigame is just Gourmet Race.
Yeah.
I'm probably thinking of the Fruit Basket one then.
Okay. Oh, the Fruit
which
Basket
was-
mini. Yeah, that's a bop. Kirby 64, I'd say, has my favorite soundtrack out of all the Kirby games. Although it's close between that and Triple Deluxe, because Triple Deluxe also has a lot of really good music. My favorite final boss theme in the series, I mean, 02 is great, but Queen Sectonia's theme just barely beats it out. Both the like hard rock one and the more orchestral one, I think. Have you ever listened to the Kirby Orchestral?
Yes.
Yeah, the orchestral version of the Queen Sectonia final boss theme is
So good. I think my
beautiful.
favorite final boss tune though is Phase 1 of Star Dream, which we'll get to.
I don't really remember Phase 1 all that well.
Phase 1 is definitely my favorite. I mean, it's either that or Crowned. Like Crowned is really good.
Crowned is
from
really good.
Return.
I just don't have that one burned into my head as much because I don't go back to Return to Dreamland that often. There's no real reason for me not to. Like, I like that game a lot. It's just I've always just played Triple Deluxe more. I think I just kind of played Return to Dreamland the one time and was like, okay, this is good, and never.
Well, you played
back.
it the second time with us, but that's about it.
I think I've played it 3 times total. I've played it once on my own, I played it multiplayer with you guys, and then I streamed it once. So it's just.
The song playing now is actually one of my favorites in the series.
This is Meta Knight's Revenge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the second part. The second part of this theme. This is when you're inside the ship.
When everyone's freaking out that you're owning all their
Yeah,
shit.
that's why I love it so much, because it complements what's happening so well. No, it's strange because one of my favorite themes, and this might be a bizarre pull, but it's actually the ending of Meta Nightmare Mode or whatever.
Night's Revenge.
When the Halberds.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a great
yeah.
theme. They remix it in this game. It's the credit screen.
The credits for Meta
Knight's-
Nightmare. Yeah.
Meta Nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's just a lot of really good songs in Kirby. Actually,
Yeah, there's very few games with mediocre. Like Kirby Fighters 2 soundtrack was a little most of the soundtracks though are just incredible.
like even the games I don't really like Amazing Mirror. The what's the last world in that game?
I mean, there's another
which
Sonic
one?
comparison. There, the soundtrack's always good.
You're right. One of the best Kirby soundtracks is actually Rainbow Curse, only because for some reason they remixed 20 or 30 other Kirby songs that don't play in the game. Just in the sound test, there are 30 really quality Kirby remixes.
Yeah,
but
I do
just
remember
just for the sake of it.
hearing that. Like, there's remixes from even new games like Triple Deluxe.
Yeah, just
and
for the
whatnot.
sake of it. They don't play in game.
Yeah. I mean, Kirby always has this reputation of reusing songs a lot, but I feel like when they do it, a lot of the times they do it when it has like a meaning. I suppose like for like these EX stages, they're just kind of doing it just to do it, but
Because they're bonus stages.
yeah, but I feel like it is always really cool when they bring back certain themes. Like they bring back the Sky Tower theme you were talking about in one of the earlier lab stages in the game, and it's always just really cool to hear that sort of stuff. I guess it is also nice to just have those kind of familiar pieces because they don't always bring back the same stuff. Like you don't always
It's always a treat to hear like stuff you haven't heard in a while. Like Anthony, I know you were playing Bowser's Fury on stream the last couple of days, and you know one of the songs has the intro to Mario 2 USA on in the song.
Just,
And
like,
it's like, oh, that's nice to hear. I haven't heard that in forever.
Oh, 3D Worlds remixed the Mario 2 character select screen for like the slot machine minigame, and that made me really happy because that's one of my Mario 2 has the best classic Mario soundtrack in my opinion.
Has that sick pause music where it's just the bass of the main thing when good stuff.
But we were talking about it. It's like for Kirby, it's like they'll bring back like Green Green's Butter Building and Gourmet Race fairly often, but they also throw bones to other games in the series a lot too.
And usually when they remix it, it's usually a different genre. So it doesn't just sound the same.
You know what? I found a very weird thing to discover because one of my favorite pieces of Kirby music is not necessarily from the game itself, but a remix of it. The legendary air ride machine.
Oh,
That was in, I think, was that in Brawl?
Yeah, that was in Brawl.
First? Yeah, fully orchestrated, badass sounding music, and it stemmed from Air Ride.
Yep.
But the version in Air Ride is a MIDI composition in a game that also has Checker Knights, which is a fully orchestral.
Checker Knights is so good. Oh my god.
I love
it's so
I love the Smash version of Checker Knights.
Checker Knights is like Kirby Air Ride legitimately has one of the best soundtracks in Kirby, period.
It's so good.
Like Frozen Hillside as well is like, oh man.
But that's the thing, though. I think Checker Knights in Smash is just the same version of Air Ride. That's what I'm getting at, because like Checker Knight's song in Air Ride is fully orchestrated, but not the Air Ride.
If we're talking about underrated Kirby songs, the Sand level from Kirby Air Ride is really, really good. I remember I was watching Masay's playthrough of Kirby, the Touch one on DS, the Mass Attack. That's it. And that's one I hadn't played before because I don't play the spin-offs for Kirby too often. I'm mostly a main series guy. But they bring back the sand level from Kirby
in Mass
Air
Attack?
Ride
Yeah.
in Mass Attack, and I'm like, I haven't heard this song in forever. It's so good. I'm gonna pull that shit up right now because
Normally, sometimes I don't end up appreciating a song until it gets remixed years later, and I'll go back and be like, oh man, this has been a jam this whole time.
Yeah, the original theme turned out to be pretty good.
Like Smash remixed the grass, I think like Nature Field or whatever it's called from Amazing Mirror, and that remix was fantastic. I listened back, I'm like, oh man, this has always been
I got sick of that.
really good. Man, I love it.
Because I backtrack everybody.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair. It was all nostalgia. But Smash also remixed the credits theme from Dreamland, and that was great too.
yeah, that's true.
Oh, we were speaking of Crowned. This is Crowned here too, and it's really good. Yeah.
This is the
hell yeah, it
stage
is.
for getting all of the code cubes.
Yeah, this is the true final level in the game. And so this is actually, I think, one of the most interesting design levels in the game because you go through it left to right as normal Kirby, and then you get
that's
to
right.
the end,
Yeah.
you get the Robobot
This,
armor, and you go back through it with the armor.
This stage has my favorite moment in the entire game. That's the stage I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely, again, it's because the music using to enhance what's happening. Because if I remember correctly, when you're going back from right to left in the robot, it's playing the well, I know it from Melee.
Yeah, it's the
I
Melee.
know it
It's
didn't
specifically
originate
the
from
Melee Green Greens.
Which
Yeah.
is so good. I think
it's phenomenal.
Melee Fountain of Dreams is also the best version of that song.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Melee
that
Fountain of
Dream
Dreams
remix
works.
is
So I don't think
iconic.
that the music works as well for having it be Green Greens versus Fountain of Dreams because I thought that the Fountain of Dreams boss rush for Triple Deluxe was just like perfect. I loved that moment in Triple Deluxe so much, and it's going for the same vibe, but I just never really jived with the slower versions of Green Greens. I always liked it a little bit faster. That's just me though.
Also, did anyone else have the Smashing Live CD from Nintendo Power with all the Melee Orchestral
Dude, that's
remixes?
the best thing that thing has ever
Nintendo Power ever did.
Orchestral Big Blue is like
Yeah.
perfection. It is so good.
Fucking the orchestral. What was it? Mech Rider, I think it was.
Mock Rider, yeah.
Mach Rider.
Oh,
thank
there's
you.
Mock Rider Orchestra. I don't remember. I don't think I've ever listened to that.
There's like
Mach Rider
a
part
big
in that song.
medley of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and the Mock Rider section slaps
just
really
just
hard.
look up I think it's called Smashing Live on YouTube, and it should be there. It's like
with an exclamation point.
Yeah, there's just a lot of really good themes. Like it's got an orchestral version of Kraid's Lair, which is also really cool because that's my favorite Metroid theme of all time. If I had to pick, yeah, Kraid's Lair is my favorite Metroid piece. If I had to pick
they even did a I think a Game and Watch medley thing, and it's like, how do you make a live orchestra medley of Game and Watch stuff? It's like, oh, that's how.
It's to this day the best thing Nintendo Power has ever sent out.
That's dope. I haven't listened to this soundtrack in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know. Game music is just really special to me, and I feel like it does a lot to elevate certain games from being like just okay to being
Oh, absolutely. It shouldn't be undersold how much music really does enhance any game, I would feel. Because maybe I told this before, but one time I, out of curiosity's sake, played. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, I remember this.
I mean, the kind tattoo kind of kills the epicness, but you know.
I smiled really hard when I got to this part.
The Melee Kirby remixes are just like, moi.
But it's actually Melee I'm thinking about. One day, out of curiosity, I decided to just turn the music off and just play my own music. But for a while, I started playing matches with the music off, and this sucks.
You know what? There's you know what?
Oh yeah.
Game
Oh, my God.
consoles in the PS3 360 generation. One of the things that was kind of a fad at the time was custom soundtracks.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like you never hear anything about that kind of feature anymore, do you?
The Wii had it for exactly one game. It was Excite Truck.
Excite
Allowed you
Truck did
to
it.
use MP3s on an SD card for whatever song you wanted, which is good because the music in Excite Truck is bad.
Well, I mean, in on like PS5, there's like a music section where I think you can do something similar. I don't know how it works in game. I don't mess with that stuff at all, but it's still around.
You know what, though? I wouldn't be surprised if it was a thing that became more commonplace in the age of live streaming, because I know that's a reason why people are so hesitant to live stream games like Grand Theft Auto.
You
because
cannot
of radio.
stream Tony Hawk without turning the music off.
Yeah.
There
In,
are specific streamer modes for some games.
In one of the
Yes.
one of the things that Cyberpunk 2077 definitely did right was having an option in the options menu that just turned off the copyrighted music if you happened to be streaming it.
Yeah, which I think is a good feature. Granted, but it's just I know that copyright music is just like a whole big old can of worms.
It's mostly the RIAA's fault.
Yeah, I know that the copyrighted music is part of the reason why Dragon Quest games took so long to get over to the West, because the composer's a dickbag. But that's a rant for another day. I've probably already ranted about it at
Yes,
some point.
you have.
Yeah, but it always needs to be said, Koichi Sugiyama, great music, giant dickbag.
I mean, I'm glad we're no longer at a point where Nintendo music gets people like thrown in jail. What a time that was. It's still not, I mean, you can still probably get caught with some of it, but it's not as rampant as it used to be.
It's just frustrating that for Nintendo music, like, they put some stuff on Spotify. They put, like, what's that thing called? Like, the Mario stuff on Spotify and, like, a couple of other random things. But it's like, if you're gonna copyright strike, like, me using a random Kirby song, like, can you please make it available for me to listen to officially then? Because I would buy it. It's one of those things where the Pokemon Company does a lot of stuff wrong, but, like, they, at the very least, make the soundtracks available, you know? Which is nice.
Everybody needs Square policy for 14 soundtracks specifically, because Square does not care if you upload 14 soundtrack. They only ask that you put gameplay footage with it. Like, they'll take down footage if it's just the music and you like a PNG as the video, because That's not what they want. But if you attach gameplay footage to it,
You're basically promoting their game for them at that point, which is why they consider it a win.
But yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a weird line to make, but I mean, if it's something, it's
not
something,
really.
right?
Well, it's kind of like what GOG does, Good Old Games, where they're fully aware that by making their products DRM free, they're basically inviting people to just upload their games to torrent sites. So what they do is they make their DM free installers double as advertising for their website, so that when people inevitably pirate their stuff, they're at least promoting GOG's storefront by doing it. So you turn that risk into a win with that kind of stipulation.
It does also go to show how much goodwill from a company can prevent piracy. Like, one of the big examples I can think of is the Shovel Knight devs shared a story of how, like, they just made a really good game, and so somebody at a convention gave them a $20 bill and said, "Sorry, I pirated Shovel Knight."
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so being transparent with your audience does do a lot to prevent piracy in that way, in that a lot of people do want to pay for a good game if they enjoy it, The people who aren't going to pay for the game are the people who treat the pirated version as a demo, effectively. And I mean, granted, you're always going to get people who pirate a game, play to completion, and not ever pay for it, which sucks. I do firmly believe that you should.
That's unfortunately just
But
that's unfortunately just the reality we live in, so you're gonna have to accept that at least on a little bit.
I mean, I did that myself, like during the DS days, because I was young, I didn't care. I found out there was a way to pirate DS games. Like, I don't have to spend money. I was a kid.
I was unapologetic with Dreamcast.
Yeah, Dreamcast.
But I've that's how I played Ace Attorney for the first time. So, and there are benefits to that. Now I'm a longtime fan. I've spent too much money on that franchise. So there are upsides as long as you're willing to then be a normal person and support. If companies will sell the game to you, buy it.
I feel like it's also more, you don't get as mad at it when it's like a 16-year-old broke teenager doing it versus the 35-year-old person who could buy it if they wanted to and they just don't. Well,
it's another weird thing for me. Not so much a weird thing, but a determining factor of why I don't really consider doing that anymore is social media, actually. Because, now more than ever, it's easier to get in contact or at least see the thoughts and opinions of those game devs for those games.
Yeah, you didn't really place that when you were just stealing games 10, 15 years ago.
You see the people that are affected by that. And
go through the moon. Go through the moon.
Yeah, you gotta go to the moon. There you go.
We're gonna take this commentary to the moon.
Fake callback. You don't fight Meta Knight in the tower.
Curb stonks.
Yeah. This is
the adventure title. Nice.
Yeah. You gotta love
with the triple deluxe pastels.
Yeah, you gotta love the. You always go for the moon. No, you don't. You have to do this over here. You gotta unscrew this. And this actually, I forgot about this little gag. This made
there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Good stuff.
Yeah, the something hidden in the moon is like my favorite Kirby Easter egg. Like, they always have to do it.
That's another one where it was Dreamland, right?
Dreamland, I think, is the first one, and then they bring it back in a lot of games after.
Nice. Last stage.
You go inside the moon, and suddenly you're falling down. It's kind of scary as shit in Extra Game because you're falling down, and there are Gordos everywhere.
Extra Game in Dreamland? Dude, Extra Game in Dreamland is satanic. That mode is insane.
It is. I would argue it's still the hardest Extra Game.
100%.
Last stage, and you got a perfect bonus.
Next to Adventure.
I know. I'm great at video games, right? Let's just pretend.
Ladies.
Ladies, I don't mean to brag, but I got the #1 bonus on Kirby Planet Robobot on the very last stage. Not trying to brag or anything like that.
Damn, dude.
I got rank 98 in Tetris 99.
Oh, man. Good job, John.
I don't play by the rules.
We'll see you next time for the final part, everyone.